Alright everybody, it's Thursday, September 24th. I'm just sitting here, chilling in the shop. I got a lot on my mind. I've done a lot of thinking about things a lot lately, and a lot of things have got me down, you know. I always try to be an outgoing person, a nice person. I ain't afraid to admit that sometimes I'm an asshole, you know. I care about people. I'm a nice person. Like I said, I've already said that. You know, I've always been the type of person that always looked down on somebody for talking about somebody, you know. Like when I worked at the convenience store, I used to have a coworker. I will not mention any names because that's not what this video is about. It's not about belittling somebody or making them feel bad for what kind of decisions they made or what kind of words that they chose to use to say or talk about somebody. It's really not about that. It's more about, I really don't even know what it's about, you know? I'm just talking because I feel that it'll help me out along the way. I think that I've come to realize that over the years I may have depression, but I don't seek any medication for it because why would I want to take a pill that would actually make me more lenient towards being on a pill, you know what I'm saying, to help with depression. I know because if you think about it, all I'm doing is making matters worse if I did take that pill, or I did take whatever kind of antidepressant that somebody wants to prescribe me. But I choose not to do that because I believe that all it's doing is just masking something and making you want to coax it with the problem. Or say that it's a problem. Yeah, depression is a problem, but you're only making it worse if you take a pill. And to me, the only way to really fight depression is to actually talk about it and show that you're not afraid. You know, there's a lot of things going on in my life that I won't divulge into, but I live an everyday life just like everybody else. I live just like every other American. Yeah, I may not live in the greatest of homes, drive the nicest cars, have umpteen $1 million or thousands of dollars to spend. That's why I call myself a simple man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just simple. I don't need all the glitz and glamour. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, it would be nice, but I mean, that's not really what this is about. Like, you know, I just believe that I know I'm jumping from subject to subject here, but everything that I'm talking about seems to work around one thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's yourself. And if you want to be able to fight the fight, so to speak, about this, then you gotta be willing to open up and let people know, like, hey, I'm a person that deals with depression, but you know what? It's perfectly fine. I'm just like you. I may have my moments to where I might be an enraged monkey, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all know me. I get a little bit crazy sometimes. And then I got those times when I'm just one of the best people in the world to be around. You know, I care very strongly about people. Some people I really don't care about. I mean, that's the way it is. I don't mean that in a mean way. I know that sounds very hateful, but like, I'm not talking crap about nobody. I'm just speaking in general. Like, you know, like when I was saying earlier in this little video, I was saying, like, you know, I worked with people that used to say things about people, but at the same time, they never step outside of the box and get into their shoes for a moment. You know, like this one dude, there's this one customer that we had at one point. He dressed like a female, you know what I'm saying? And he talked to inanimate objects. Well, you know, that guy may have a form of depression. Maybe his wife died, you know, maybe he's wearing her clothes. You know, I don't know. his wife died. Maybe he's trying to fill that void within himself, and having that inanimate object or dressing like a female may help him. I mean, I'm not judging anybody on what they want to be. If they want to date a guy, they can date a guy. If they want to date a girl, they can date a girl. If you want to date somebody of the opposite sex than you, go right ahead. I mean, that's your choice. That's not my choice to say what is okay, what is proper, what is political. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people that say I'm politically correct. You know what I'm saying? I'll say Merry Christmas. I won't say Happy Holidays. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know that person, if you know the people, like I've met some people over my 5 years working at a convenience store, I've learned these people. I know who they are. They're like a neighbor to me, or they're like a friend. And, you know, you can't judge people by their looks. I mean, it's not right. I could be dressed in a holy t-shirt, some holy shorts, and some shoes that are talking in the front, you know what I'm saying? And y'all are gonna sit there and say, oh, well, he's a lowlife and he's homeless. Well, how do you know I'm homeless? How do you know I just don't have enough money to support myself? What if I'm supporting my family more than I'm supporting myself? I don't think that people really think about that or look at it that way. I feel that people just want to make the assumptions that they want to make about somebody and believe that it's perfectly fine. And that's not right. It's not okay. I mean, at one point in my life, I lived in a car. Yeah, I was a kid. I didn't know about it at the time, but I probably lived in a car. You know what I'm saying? I've heard stories, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that I've done in my life is a progression to where I am now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I may not have a license. You know what? So be it. There's a million people in this world that don't have a license, and nobody really gives them shit about it. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't want to drive, I don't want to drive. That's my choice. If I want to walk, let me walk. Let me skate. Let me ride a bike. Because I want to be me is no reason to judge somebody. You know what I'm saying? And judging people can also lead to depression. You know what I'm saying? If you want to judge somebody, at some point, it's going to get back to them. And just like, you know, how the story goes, you know, I could say one thing to one person, that person takes it to the next person, they say something in it, they take one little bit of word out of context, and on to the next person's getting it. So it's a line, you know what I'm saying? So if you get a line of things going, everything's going to break down eventually, instead of just being like, hey, well, this is what he said. Don't beat around the bush. I mean, I'm not beating around the bush. I'm telling you how it was. And I don't even know what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm making this video because it's making me feel better about myself. You know what I'm saying? Why not talk to people? There's nothing wrong with talking about things. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that are on your mind. Certain things that might help you. You know, like I said, I'm not the best person in the world. I'm not the greatest person in the world. I'm just me. I'm just Damon Rivers. That's all I can be. And that's all I strive to be. Yeah, I'd like to have a comfortable life. You know what I'm saying? But not all of us will have that. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but not all of us will have that kind of comfortability, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? To have everything go right for a little bit, you know? I'm used to things how they are. I know that things go wrong. Some things you can prevent and some things you can't. You know, we all make our own bed. At the end of the day, we gotta lay in it. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted to go talk about Joe Smo over here and make them feel like trash, well, you just gotta remember, when you go home, you gotta sleep with that on your conscience, man. And that's why I try to tell a lot of my friends, you know, like, you just don't talk about them, people like that. I may talk about certain people, but they're my friends. And half the things I say about them behind their back, I'll say it right to their face after I talk about it with my friend. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, anybody I talk about is within my circle of friends. I don't really divulge and go outside of my circle to talk about somebody, because that's not nice. You know, and all it is just a form of bullying. Now, this video right here is just something of mixed messages. You know, it's just a little vlog. There's no really, I guess there's no point to it. I mean, there is, but there isn't, if that makes any sense. I'm just somebody who's just trying to talk. And, you know, most of the time I really don't have a lot of people to talk to besides my close circle of friends. And, you know, those are the people that I get the most, the people that I rely on, because those are the people I talk to about things. I don't really go talk to outside sources and talk about my problems, because that's not the way to go. If I wanted everybody to know my problems, I would do that. But that's why I keep it within my circle of friends, because at least I know I can have that. Sorry about that. At least I know I can have that circle of trust. You know, and that's all what I'm really looking for, is just that circle of trust. You know, it doesn't have to be with 50 people. It could be with 5 people, that circle of trust. That 5 people that you know, that you call your best friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I need. Yeah. I mean, I don't go out much. I don't meet new people. I wouldn't say I'm afraid to meet new people. I just find it awkward talking to new people. Like, you know, you get into a conversation with them, and they'll be talking to you, and you'll just be like, yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about. But at the same time, you're like, wow, this is really awkward, but I don't want to say anything to be rude. You know, because I was given manners. I was taught how to have manners. You know, the other day when I got off of work, I went over to Walmart before I caught the bus. You know, I was going inside. I needed to fill up my water bottle with some water. You know what I'm saying? There's an elderly lady coming up to the door right behind me, so I opened the door for her. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, wow, what a gentleman. And, you know, that had my mind thinking. I was like, you know, I can't even hold open a door for a female in her early 20s or her late 20s without her thinking that I'm hitting on her. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these females believe that being polite and having manners is just hitting on them. And it's so hard to be like, oh, well, I just have manners and I'm just a polite person. You know, I'm going to show you that much respect by holding the door open for you. You know, chivalry isn't dead. You're just looking for, like, when people say chivalry is dead, they're just looking they're looking at it in a totally different perspective, because they see it how they want to see it. They perceive it how they want to perceive it. You know what I'm saying? All it is just a mass deception. You got all this hip hop stuff that's telling everybody, oh, well, you should do it like this, and you need to be like this, and you need to do that, and you should do this because everybody will like you if you do that. No, that's not the way it really works. If you want to listen to people that got money, go ahead and listen to them. Half those people are just making money off of you. They don't really care about you. Half of those rappers, musicians, they don't really care. They have their agents tell them, like, oh, or their agents, my bad. They have their agents or their publicists, not their publicist, but a public relations person, be like, well, you should do this because that would make you look good in the public eye. So yeah, even if I personally gave up, like, money to a charity, that's not gonna make me look good in the public eye. That's just gonna make me feel better about myself, knowing that I don't mind helping somebody out, helping the next person. You know, like the Bible says, you should help thy neighbor, or something to that context. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really good with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really go to church. I mean, I went to church as a kid, but it's not something that stuck with me, because I didn't really believe in people having to tell me how I should live my life. You know, if you're going to make mistakes, you need to make mistakes on your own so that you can learn how to handle those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it really is. There's no complexity to this, you know? It's just be your life, live your life, be yourself, and be honest with yourself. I mean, that's all you can really do. You know? And it's perfectly fine. This right here just made my day so much better, being able just to talk this much to people. And if I touch one person, just one person, hey, you know what? That's a good thing. A lot of people don't have that. I don't mind looking out for my fellow Americans, my fellow people. You know what I'm saying? People in general, I don't mind looking out for. I'll go up to a homeless man. I seen this homeless man pick up a Gatorade bottle with Gatorade in it off the street. Some warm, I'm talking about warm Gatorade. You know what I did? I took my butt straight over to the closest place where I could buy a drink for this man, and I tracked him down and told him, like, here you go, bro. Here's this. And, like, if you want a Powerade, here's a Powerade. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be drinking that warm stuff off the side of the road, because you don't know what's in there. Somebody could have pissed in that. Somebody could have spit in that, and you're about to drink it. Yeah, I know you don't care because you're trying to get that little bit of hydration that you need. To me, that matters, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't let that, if I wouldn't let myself do that, I wouldn't let that happen to anybody else. I've tried to give homeless people money before, and they've denied it. They're like, no, I don't want your money. You know what I'm saying? That shit, it hurt. It hurt when they did that, but you know what? It's a learning lesson. People do what they want, you know what I'm saying? And I guess the moral of the story is just to be yourself, you know what I'm saying? Don't let others bring you down. You know what I'm saying? Try to look at the positive side of everything. You know, being positive is one great thing. You know, as soon as you let that negative energy in, bro, you're done. You're done. Darkness will consume you faster than anything. So don't let yourself fade out into the darkness, man. You need to let yourself shine and step out into the light. You know, where you get yourself feeling good and feeling amazing. Well, with that said, I'm just gonna leave it there for the night. You know, maybe I'll have another video, maybe I won't. But I just want to let y'all know that, you know, I love each and every single one of you as if you were my brother. And that's the honest truth, you know, as if you're my brother or my sister. You know, I love you guys, and that's how it is.